Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, and I know you know how this works, but I like to remind people this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. So if it doesn't make any sense now, you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you. Keep it in mind. Um, we're going to talk to Austin. Okay. So far, he's just saying, he's repeating over and over, I love you, I love you, I love you. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He's talking about your shoulda, woulda, couldas. I should have done this if I would have done that. Could I have done that? Just mentioning them. The move, the move for you was good. Now, does it have to be moving from one house to the other? Could be moving jobs, could be moving something out of the way. They don't always explain. So whatever the first thing that pops in your mind is, that's what he's talking about. I know that sounds kind of vague, but it's just the way it works. Shake, rattle, and roll. And sometimes they just throw words out. They don't usually explain everything. Okay. So out of the corner of my eye, in my peripheral vision, and I include this too, if I'm looking down, I can see something move. But so anyway, in my peripheral vision, I see him peeking around the corner in my room. Then when you turn your head, there's nothing there. So you think it's your imagination. But if you see something moving out here, try not to turn your head. I can't do it. I always turn my head and I know better. Try not to turn your head. That's how you'll see him. Or you've either seen him like that or you're going to see him like that. Now he kept poking his head out and now he's actually stepped out from around the corner and he's standing there. But I'm not looking. He's over here. I'm not looking at him. But once you turn your head, there's nothing. So know that that is real when you see that. He sometimes walks up and strokes your hair. I don't know what your hair looks like, but he's just showing stroking it down. So you should feel that, and it could feel like a tickling, a warmth. You could feel it. It's kind of like the change in the air pressure. Everybody feels it different, so I can't tell you exactly how you're going to feel it. So I try to give you several ideas of how you might feel it. It's like, it's like when somebody walks in the room, you don't hear them, you don't see them, but you feel them. That's feeling their energy. Everybody has energy. Rocks have energy. Tables have energy. Everything has energies. It just vibrates at a different level, but you feel like somebody's there. But when you turn around and look, there's nobody there. It's like I was in a bar one time. Imagine that. And I felt somebody so strong standing here. And I turned and I thought, there's nobody there. But the girl next over on my other side walked up to the bar and ordered 2 Blue Moon beers. That means something between Bob and I. So that was my validation. Who was standing there? If that makes sense. So you might look for that validation too. Sometimes if you think you feel him, And, you could get goosebumps, you could get warmth, you could just feel it like somebody's watching you. He says if it creeps you out and you ask him to step back, he will step back. He's not there to harm. He's there to help. There's a little girl, a really little girl that plays with him. And I don't know, I probably already explained it. Ow. Little kids, especially below the age of 10, they can see them, they can hear them, they can play with them. No problem, because nobody's told them that that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So when they get to be about 9 or 10, then they realize society's going to go, you're crazy because you can't talk to dead people. Yes, you can. So she plays with him all the time. A lot. And I just hear her babbling. I can't understand what she's saying. She's just babbling. He just stand there watching her. He moves his finger like in front of her and she follows it. So if you see, I don't know how young this little girl is. I feel like it's the younger one. I don't know how many you have. And you see her, it's kind of like when you have a toy in front of a cat, and the cat follows, the toy or a laser light or something. It's he's doing that with his fingers. So if you see her just kind of all of a sudden moving her head all around and looking all around, and there's not really anything there to look like she's watching a fly or something, know that that's him doing that at that moment. And he's just playing with her. He loves her very much. He says they are going to be great partners. And she seems very happy-go-lucky. Yeah. And she sits there and plays with him and talks to him like common, everyday occurrence. Amaze me the way that she dances, ain't afraid to take chances, and wears her heart on her sleeve. Yeah, she's crazy. Whoop, I thought I was going to play the end of it. So that's a song by Luke Combs, Beautiful Crazy. So anything that happens to me during a reading is meant for you. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. So anytime you hear that song, you may not listen to country music. Doesn't matter. Or you could be walking through Walmart and there could be a picture there that says Beautiful Crazy. Or you could hear it on TV. You could see it on Facebook. You could see somebody's tattoo that has it. Know that that's a sign from him. He wants you to listen to the song. Go Google it, YouTube it, whatever you want to do. Go listen to that song. That's from him. Oh, I sound like I need more coffee. I kind of sound like flat-toned. So anyway, back to the little girl. She's just like, no big deal. This is just part of life. And it is for little kids. All little kids have had an imaginary friend. We just thought that they were imaginary, and they weren't. He says, so where do you go from here? He's kind of showing feet, and it's your feet, but he's just kind of showing feet, and you're moving forward down your path. I'm not seeing the rest of you. I'm just seeing your feet. Okay, we'll see why he's. There's always a reason for however they show it. And it looks like you have on red Converse, or at least I'm going to say they're Converse, high top tennis shoes with white soles. I may have the wrong brand, but he's showing, and he's making them very clear. He's making them like bigger red high top tennis shoes or shoes of some kind. They look like tennis shoes to me. They could be some other type of shoes. So I hate to make it sound so vague, but I'll tell you exactly what he's showing, but he could be referring to something like that. He says, those are your ruby red slippers. You're not in Kansas anymore. As far as I know, you're here. I don't know. Okay, I've seen the shoes. But you are slowly walking forward on your path. And he's like standing in front of you, facing you as you're walking down this path. And he's going, come on, come on. Come on, let's go. And then he starts skipping in front of you. So he's going to help you. He's going to help you down your path. Ask him. Give him permission. You can trust him. He says you can trust him. Give him permission. They cannot override your free will choice. You ought to see the dumb shit I do. And they go, Rhonda, that's not what we gave you. Why are you doing that? Because I can. Because I can choose to pick the wrong path. So ask him to help you down that path. And he can help present things to you. He can help open doors for you. It's really amazing what they can do if you ask and give them permission. It doesn't mean that you It doesn't mean when they present something to you as you go down your path, they help you find something, they bring somebody to you, or they bring you a new job opportunity, or whatever it might be. Doesn't mean you have to take it. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. They do it to me all the time, and I go, yeah, no, I don't want it right now. He says, know that I loved you. It didn't have anything to do with you. It had to do with what was inside of me. And some of what was inside of me, I didn't even know was there. Didn't know it existed. So I couldn't fix it because I didn't admit it was there. And that was mine, not yours. He's showing slamming beers. I'm not slamming beers, it's slamming beers this way. Slamming beers, slamming beers. Guzzling. And saying, fuck it. So know that he takes full responsibility for everything. And if you are feeling like you're holding any of that responsibility, you need to give it to him because it's his, it's not yours. Sometimes it helps if Okay, he's showing it like baggage. He's showing it like a big suitcase, which they do a lot. So it's like baggage. So even if you don't feel you have some, there's still a little bit in there. Put it in that suitcase and hand it to him. Just visualize it. It's just the way the energy world works. It's the way our woo-woo world works. It helps release that. It's not yours. You need to put it in that suitcase and give him the suitcase back. And me, sometimes I have to do it 10 times because I'll do it and then I'll bring it back. And then I'll do it and then I'll bring it back. That's the way my world works. I'm bad about it. But it will eventually work. If it doesn't work the first time, do it again. You have much happier times ahead of you. It's like he felt like he was a roadblock for you. Like he was, I'm not sure how to describe it. He just says he felt like he was a roadblock. But that still wasn't why he left. He says you're very beautiful, beautiful inside and out, a beautiful mother. He says you will make somebody a beautiful wife. That you're very kind and caring. He says try not to hold on to the last image of him. I don't know why he keeps showing me this, because I've asked him not to show me this kind of stuff anymore, because then I end up crying after the reading's over. He's showing me, telling me the same thing. Anybody that leaves like this, the second it happens, they pretty much go, I fucked up. Nobody's ever said it's the right thing to do. Nobody's ever said that they were glad they did it, at least not in my experience. Are they happy and healthy? Yes. Are they cleansed? And I always say, when we get up there, they cleanse all the heavy crap that we have from down here. And they kind of peel us like an onion and take all the anger and resentment and all those heavy negative feelings. They cleanse that, rip that off of us. They don't rip it, they do it in a very kind, gentle way. And then our spirit, our soul is lighter and brighter, clean from this experience down here on earth this time. Multiple lives? Yes. Do I believe in them? Yes. Still have trouble wrapping my head around them, but I do believe that we come down here more than once. And I'm thinking this is my last trip down here. I hope so. This is a bad one this time. The world's gone crazy. Know that you are divinely guided and divinely loved. So again, if you need a little extra help in something that he would have been good at helping you with here, maybe not jacking the car up or something like that, well, you could always ask. Okay, he says use that for an example. Let's say you have a flat tire and you need to jack your car up. And you go, man, I don't know if I can do this by myself. It's heavy. Ask him for help. And You never know. Somebody may drive by and go, "Can I help you with that?" No, if something like that happens, he sent them. If you ask. So, and it doesn't have to be that exact situation, but something like that. And know when you ask and then it's brought to you that your prayer was answered, if you want to call it that. But also know that's still when you ask, how is he wanting me to explain this to you? If you ask for things from him or your guides or your angels or whatever you believe in, and they bring it to you, like the guy coming to rescue you and help you change your tire. Perfect example. I hope I remember this one because it's a good one. You still have the right, you have the free will choice. He cannot override your free will choice. You can continue to change that tire if you want to. You can tell him, no, I don't want your help. So they can bring us all the good shit they want to, that we want, and we can still say, no, I'll do it myself, which is what I tend to do. What a dummy. So that is I'm going to even write that one down. Okay, he says that you're going to smell him, and they like the smells and the sounds and the electronics because it's something that's easy for them to do. If you put a boulder in the middle of the living room and ask them to move it, that's probably not going to happen. If you want that for a sign, that won't work. But smells are so easy. So, and like the smell he's given me is like you take a shirt that he wore and you, or maybe you've done this. Maybe this is what he's showing too. Maybe it's 2 in 1, and you just breathe it. You will smell this. You could be in Walmart. You can be in your car. You can be outside. It doesn't matter where you're at. Know that that'll be a sign from him. So validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. That is your free will choice. He says, I'm that close to you. But it's almost like he's there, but he's not making his presence known very much. Like I don't want to say that. I know what he's doing. It's not like he's waiting to be asked, although that would help. I mean, you could always say, hey, I give you permission, to be closer, to be with me 24/7 or whatever. It's not that it's I'm there. I can't think of the right words. I'm there. I'm that close to you. I'm there. And yet he's not like stepping forward. That's not the right words either. It's not like he's really waiting for something. He's just not going to be jumping around making his presence known, if that makes sense. That's not, I'm sorry, I can't think of how to explain it. It's a little bit different feeling. He's right there whenever you want to call on him. But he's not going to be pushy. He's not going to push himself on you. It's like he doesn't feel like he has the right. Maybe if that makes a little more sense. Anything coming out of my mouth doesn't always make sense. You gotta see what goes on in my head. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. I enjoyed making a life with you. I love my babies. I love my babies very much. And I will be a part of their life in some way. He's showing that if you get time in your busy life, that in the evening when the stars are out, just step outside and breathe, look at the stars, and just ask him to bring you a sense of peace. And it's like, for me anyway, everybody will feel it different. It's like such an overwhelming sense of peace that it makes me want to cry. Not because it's sad, because it's beautiful. And while you're looking up at the stars, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I don't know what it is about the meditation breathing. You don't have to meditate. I can't sit still long enough to do it. But there's something about breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. It does something that just calms. And he says, and know that I will bring you love. He says, you will be blessed on the rest of your journey. And he was proud to be part of it. And it's really funny because we have such a different perspective once we get up. Well, we're not really up there. We're actually the ones we talk to where they're not stuck here on Earth. But I don't know. I don't know why my head's going there. Anyway, stop that. It's just such a different perspective once we look back at it from that side and go, wow, I could never get that when I was here. I could never see things that way, see it totally different once we leave. He's sending you tons and tons of love, and he's sending you little red hearts. But they're like, show it again. They're like leaving his hands. It's like all these little, like almost like bubbles, but they're little red hearts, and they're floating up, and they're going right in the top of your head. And you probably don't know anything about chakras, but that's your crown chakra, and these hearts are going right in your head. And he's hoping that will bring you peace. The hearts that he's sending you, the love energy that he's sending you, he's hoping that will bring you more peace. He's getting ready to leave, but as he's walking away, he says, don't worry about that job. There's another one right around the corner. So I don't know what. He said, there's always another one right around the corner. Don't worry about it. Okay, with that, he's leaving. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. Voice for your loved ones. Later.